guys, it's Caitlin, your geeky girlfriend. I am walking to a meet this weekend, and I drove, but now we have a little bit of a walk. So I thought while we walk, we could do a book review. I like bringing you guys on to my morning commutes, and hence the earmuffs and things because we're getting ready to go out in the cold. But if you're new here, I'm Caitlin. This channel has everything movies, books, TV, and more. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a book that I just finished, and yeah, I have very strong feelings about it. So I'm just going to cut right to the chase. We're going to talk about Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. This is the sequel to Fourth Wing, and I do have a review of Fourth Wing up on my channel, so make sure you go check that out. If you already watched that video and you're curious about my thoughts of this one, then you know that I was not super excited to read Fourth Wing. I'm not a fantasy person. Fantasy is not my genre, but I do love a good romance, and so that's what drew me into Fourth Wing. I'm gonna get ready to step out into the cold and figure out where I'm going, and then we can finish our chat while... Alright, so I didn't actually take you guys on my walk because my friend met me and we walked together, but anyway, we're on a little break. So let's talk about Iron Flame. So, like I said, this is the sequel to Fourth Wing. I do recommend reading Fourth Wing first, because characters from Fourth Wing come into Iron Flame, as well as, you know, the setting, the cities, things like that. So yeah, definitely would recommend reading Fourth Wing first. The fact that it's already getting dark outside saddens me. I've been here all day, but anyway, we're just kind of walking around. I have like 40 minutes until it's time to go again. But anyway, so yeah, it's the sequel. I would recommend and definitely encourage you to read Fourth Wing first. And I do have a full review of Fourth Wing on my page. So if you are new here, make sure you scroll down and check that out. Let's see, what else? Okay, so let's get into it. So this is a romantasy, same genres as Fourth Wing. There were parts of Fourth Wing that I kind of skimmed through because fantasy's not my genre, not super into fantasy, but with it being the sequel and already being familiar with characters, the worlds, where they are, etc., I didn't have to skim as much. Like, I was able to convention center and like on my way to the Hilton and the Hyatt, I'm just like walking around. But anyway, so I read this super fast, like started it and really read it and like essentially read most of the book in one day. But I had like I read like the first 200 and then a big chunk and then the last like 50 pages. And I will say I should have probably just powered through and read the last 50 pages because my adrenaline was really pumping when we got into like the final battle scene, and then I let myself go to bed and then I tried to finish it the next day and I did kind of lose a little bit of it. But this book, I was told when I was reading this book, people were like, oh, just wait till the end, you're gonna want to throw the book, like, just wait. And I did not throw the book, but I was screaming. I like slammed it shut. I could not believe, and I won't do any spoilers in this video, but I'm still pretty angry about the ending of this book, which is why people said, oh, just wait till the end, you're gonna throw it. I'm still pretty angry about it, but overall, I did like this one more than the first one. So the first one for me got a 4-star because it was a lot of fantasy.
I liked the romance part a lot, but I'm not a fantasy person. So again, that world building piece, the land building, all the stuff about Basgath and the school, like I was like, just give me to the love story. I just want to read about Violet and Xaden. That's all I really care about. And my attitude towards Iron Flame was similar, but I will say that this one really piqued my interest. Like my interest was piqued a whole lot quicker in this book. And I was like pretty instantly in it. I will say reading them closer together might be better because there were some things that I had to like remind myself, and I had to like take time, like I had to look things up and like Google what certain things were, because I read Fourth Wing in June and now we're in like the end of January, so I read them about 7 months apart. And obviously, like when Iron Flame originally came out, obviously we had this long wait before Onyx Storm. So now Onyx Storm is out and on the shelves, so I can immediately get that one and read it if I want, or I can wait till it comes in at the library, or whatever method I choose. But I feel like I haven't even really talked much about the book in this video. But, and I'm also trying to be a little bit quiet because I am in a public-ish space. But I think all you really need to know is that I liked this one better than the first one. It was a quick read for me. I would say the level of romance in this one, like if you are not a spice person, I would say the spice level is actually a little bit less in this one. This one definitely is still very much a romance, and the romance almost outnumbers the fantasy parts, but the romance is, I guess, different. I guess like the first one is really spicy, and it's about like there is a lot more hanky panky in the first one. This one is actual like them confessing their feelings for each other. That is a slight spoiler, but if you know, you know. Like I said, I read it really quickly. My interest was piqued a lot quicker with this one than the first one. Read it faster than the first one. I mean, I read the first one quickly. Like I read the first one probably, it was like a week. This one was literally like 3 days, and this one was much bigger. Now I do have some critiques about this one. Like obviously the ending, we're not even going to talk about it, but the ending made me really, really angry. But I also cried towards the end, like, and I cried during the middle. Like there was a lot of emotions felt in this book, so I cried, I was angry, but I also was kind of confused at some parts. But there's also a lot of darkness. Like there's a lot of dark material, like themes of torture, emotional abuse, stuff like that. So that's your trigger warning for you. And I mean, just to give like a premise, the Iron Flame picks up exactly where Fourth Wing leaves off, and it just like it's the revolution that was kind of started in the first one. And yeah, and then the revolution just keeps going. So do with that, like I said, do with that as you will. Yeah, I feel like I'm being very cryptic and very vague, but there's also not a lot I can say that won't spoil this book for anybody. And I did a spoiler-free Goodreads review as well, but I did give this book 5 stars, so I gave this book a 10 out of 10. It was better than the first one for me, despite how I felt at the end and how angry I was at the end. But they're just, it was truly an experience reading it, like emotionally. And then yeah, like I really just don't have anything else. I don't really have anything else to say other than that, is to just keep telling you guys that I really liked it. And I know there were some people, I had read negative reviews, I had heard negative reviews, but I could not put it down. I could not stop thinking about it. I had to finish it. And yeah, which is why I read it so quick. So for me, that's what gets a 5-star. Now, in terms of spice level, I do like to tell you guys that I would give this one a 2. Actually, like I said, the spice level was a little bit less in this one than I felt in the first one, but there still was spice. So if you are looking for spice, you're going to get it, but definitely less than the first one. Trying to think if there's anything else. I would say overall, if you're new to this series and you're just kind of watching some reviews to figure out if you want to give it a try, I would say if you like Game of Thrones, you would like this series. There's a lot of the same elements: magic, dragons, violence, and then, you know, hanky panky and romantic things between adults. So if any of that is what you like, then you would enjoy this series. And I was really shocked at how much I liked Fourth Wing, and also how much I liked this one. Like, I kind of was going into this one, I think, with a little bit of low expectations because somebody had told me, oh, I hated it and I didn't like it. It was boring in parts. I did not think it was boring at all. I actually felt it was more engaging than the first one. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I feel like this video is just me kind of wandering around rambling, but I really do I have critiques? Of course, because the ending, like, how am I not, my favorite character in the series is Xaden. And so if you've read this book, you already know the ending would make fans of Xaden upset. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So that was a slight spoiler, not giving anything away, not telling you anything. And yeah, so I think that's it. I think that's all for this video. Yeah, I had to film it today before I took it back to the library because I'm getting ready to pick up some other things from the library. So I wanted to drop it off, and I was like, oh, let me just put this on, get my little clip of it before I drop it back off at the library. But yeah, so now I'm 2 books in. There are 5. The third one is already out, Onyx Storm, so we'll be reading that one maybe this year. I'm trying to decide if I want to wait for it at the library or if I want to go buy it. I'm still haven't made up my mind either way, but TBD on that one. But this is my first 5-star book of the year. Now, granted, I have only read 3 books this year. I forgot to mention that in the beginning of the video, that this was book number 3 for the year. My goal, if you're new here, is 48 books, which is 4 books a month. And so far, so good on that goal. So we will see how it ends up. But yeah, so this was book number 3 for the year, my first 5-star rating of the year. I think I'm going to be thinking about this book for a really long time, which that's how I know that it's a 5-star book. If I can't put it down, I can't stop thinking about it, and it like invades all of my thoughts, which is what happened on Wednesday. That was the day that I read it a lot. It's currently Friday, and I'm still thinking about it, still kind of reeling about it. I have started another book, but I still am kind of in shock about how this one ended. So that's really, I think, all I can say about it. I would say all of the things, like I said, if you liked the first one, all of the things that were good about the first one exist in the second one. I say a little bit better. Some people critique the writing style, but you're going to get that with any book. So do with all of this wandering, walking video that you will, if you choose to read it, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you're new here, make sure you hit that red button and subscribe, and you can also hit that bell to be notified about all my latest videos. But yeah, Iron Flame, as angry as I was, and as much as I did almost throw the book, it gets a 5-star, 10 out of 10. I would recommend it, and I would recommend the series. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video, finish up my little walk, my little leg stretch, and get back to finish up my last session of our day today. But thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.